Hello students, today we are going to discuss oxidation reduction reaction of chapter 1 chemical reaction and revision of class 10th science. Okay, in the previous classes we discussed double displacement reaction, combination reaction and displacement reaction. Okay, decomposition reaction. In this class we will discuss oxidation and reduction reaction. So first we will know what is the process of oxidation. If a substance, the oxidation is the process in which substance gains oxygen during a reaction. So the definition is, if a substance gains oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be oxidized. Okay, if a substance loses oxygen during a reaction, it is said to be reduced. Now we see the example, oxidation of copper to copper oxide. We take china dish and which contains copper powder. We heat it. The surface of the copper powder becomes coated with black copper 2 oxide because oxygen is added to copper and copper oxide is formed. So this is the oxidation of copper to copper oxide. The chemical equation is 2Cu plus O2. When it is heated, it gives 2CuO. This means copper is oxidized to copper oxide. Okay, if hydrogen gas is passed over this heated material CuO, the black coating on the surface turns brown as the reverse reaction takes place and copper is obtained. In this reaction, copper 2 oxide losing oxygen. That means it is being reduced. CuO, when hydrogen gas is passed through it, when it is heated, we obtain copper and H2O. During this reaction, copper 2 oxide loses oxygen and is being reduced. The hydrogen is gaining oxygen. Here the hydrogen is gaining oxygen, so it is said it is oxidized. Hydrogen is being oxidized, or we can say that one reactant gets oxidized while the other gets reduced during a reaction. Then such reactions in which one reactant is oxidized and the other gets reduced is called oxidation reduction reaction, or it is called redox reaction. CuO plus S2, when it is heated, it gives Cu plus S2O. In this reaction, S2 is oxidized, we get H2O, and Cu is reduced, then we get CuO is reduced and we get copper. Some other examples of redox reactions are ZnO plus carbon, Zn plus CO, MnO2 plus 4HCl, it gives MnCl2 plus twice H2O plus Cl2. In reaction A, in this reaction, carbon is oxidized to carbon monoxide and ZnO is reduced to Zn. In reaction B, in this reaction, HCl is oxidized to Cl2, whereas MnO2 is reduced to MnCl2. So we can say that if a substance gains oxygen or loses hydrogen during a reaction, it is oxidized, and if a substance loses oxygen or gains hydrogen during a reaction, it is reduced. Now we come to the activity 1.1 of NCERT science book class 10th, in which the question is given: magnesium ribbon burns with a dazzling flame in air, oxygen, and changes into a white substance. Is magnesium being oxidized or reduced? Then the answer is, magnesium ribbon burns with a bright white dazzling flame to form magnesium oxide, a white ash like powder. This is a combination reaction as well as oxidation reaction. In this reaction, magnesium gets oxidized. This means loss of electrons, and oxygen undergoes reduction. It means gain of electrons. So the reaction is a redox reaction. The chemical equation is 2Mg plus O2. When it did, we get twice MgO. Magnesium is a metal. Its atomic number is 12. Electronic configuration is here 282. During this reaction, each magnesium loses 2 electrons to form Mg2 plus, and oxygen gains these electrons and form O2 minus. Thus, magnesium is oxidized to magnesium oxide and oxygen is reduced. Now we come to the topic corrosion, in which notes have been asked in the board exam. Corrosion. What is corrosion? When a metal is attacked by substances around it, such as moisture, acid, etc., it is said to be corrode, and this process is called corrosion. When left some time, the iron article gets coated with a reddish brown powder. Silver, when it is kept in air, silver gets a black coating and copper gets green coating. These are examples of corrosion. Corrosion causes damage to car bodies, bridges, iron railings, and all objects made of metal, especially those of iron. Now we come to the second point, rancidity. What is rancidity? When fats and oils are oxidized, they become rancid and their smell and taste change. Usually substances which prevent oxidation, antioxidants, are added to food containing fats and oil. What is the prevention of rancidity? We can use antioxidant, adding substances like BHA, it is beta hydroxy acid, BST, butylated hydroxytoluene, BST to food. Second is storing in airtight container, reduces contact with oxygen and moisture. Third is refrigeration, slows down reaction. Fourth is vacuum pump packing, nitrogen flushing, like in chips packet, removes oxygen. Avoid keeping oily food in sunlight. In simple word, rancidity is the spoilage of oily food due to oxidation, which changes its taste and smell. Now we come to some important questions for board exam. First question is identify X, Y, Z in the following reaction. In this reaction, you have to identify X, Y, and Z. The option is X is gas, Y reaction constituents, Z is gas. Second option is given, third is given, and D option is given. The answer is D. Correct answer is D. Twice KClO3. When in solid state, it is heated, it gives twice KCl in solid state plus 3O2. Here the equation is here. Twice KClO3, X is in solid state. Potassium chlorate is in solid state. When it is heated, Y is heat. And twice KCl is solid state and 3O2 is gaseous state. Second question is calcium oxide reacts vigorously with water to produce select line. The equation is CaO in solid state plus H2O gives CaOH whole 2 aqueous. This reaction, which type of this reaction is? The option is combination reaction, exothermic, endothermic, and oxidation reaction. Which is the correct option? The option D is the correct. The reaction between CaO and H2O to form CaOH whole 2 is an exothermic combination reaction. So the answer is D. A and B is correct answer. A combination reaction and B is exothermic reaction. Okay. The third question is when hydrogen sulfide gas is passed through a blue solution of copper sulfate, a black precipitate of copper sulfide is obtained and the sulfuric acid is so formed remains in this solution. The reaction is an example of a which type? The combination, displacement, decomposition, or double displacement. We have to say the answer is CuSO4 plus H2S, CuS plus H2SO4. It is a double displacement reaction. As in this reaction, CuSO4 and H2S reacting by exchange of Cu2 plus and H plus ions to form two new compounds, CuS and H2SO4. Okay. Fourth question is in which of the following the identity of initial substance remains unchanged? First is curdling of milk, formation of crystals by process of crystallization, fermentation of grapes, digestion of food. The answer is formation of crystals is a physical change, rest others are chemical change. Question is number 5. Which type of chemical reaction is H2 plus Cl2 is equal to 2HCl? Write a balanced chemical equation of another example of this type of reaction. It is combination reaction. Another example of combination reaction is twice Na in solid state plus Cl2 in gaseous state gives twice NaCl in solid state. Okay, these are the important questions for board exam. Thank you.